Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and we're gonna talk about today. I'm going to be talking about Euphoria Season 2, Episode 3. So, spoilers, warning ahead if you haven't seen the episode. So, let's just dive right into it. Season 2, Episode 3 of Euphoria. And this episode starts off with a backstory, no other than Nate's dad's backstory when he was younger. Young Cal. We finally get his backstory of him growing up and see what life was like for him when he was a teenager, like Nate. And he was definitely much different than Nate starting off. He didn't play football, he was on the wrestling team, and he talks about his room. Of course, is narrating this, and Rue talks about he has his best friend who is also on the wrestling team with him, named Derek, and him and Derek did everything together. They were like close. They were like this. They were really like brothers, but they weren't brothers. Good thing too, because it shows young Cal. He had an attraction towards his best friend Derek, and he was struggling with his sexuality, and he was going with what I'd say the heteronormative of society, getting the girlfriend, being a jock, being on the sports team, following the norms of being a straight guy in high school, and just to keep keep the fact that he has feelings and an attraction towards Derek, his best friend, a secret, and really kept close. Because one thing too is his father and his parents probably weren't. He knew that they probably wouldn't be as accepting if he, came out as gay, bi, or whatever. They wouldn't accept him. So he kept that a secret. So talks about him and Derek. Then he found a girlfriend, and of course, it shows young Cal, bang this girl, and that eventually becomes his girlfriend, and then how he would tell everything to Derek of like all the sexual things that they'd done together. He would tell him everything, every little detail. Basically, they were buds, they would talk about sex and everything. So that was basically the beginning of Cal's backstory. And then until it goes up to graduation, of them graduating, and then how Derek took young Cal to a bar after graduation to celebrate. However, Cal didn't know that Derek took him to a gay bar, which he wouldn't have noticed, and they were just drinking, and then Derek turns on the jukebox or just the music box, and they start dancing and singing and dancing with each other. It was really sweet, and eventually it leads up to them kissing, and then it goes to the next day where Cal is in bed, young Cal, and he gets a phone call from his girlfriend about her taking multiple tests, and then we figure out, as the audience finally put together, that she ends up being pregnant, and that's the start of young Cal and the start of his family. And we see him crying because he finally explored his sexuality with his friend Derek, and he knows that he has feelings, and he's not really in love with this girl as much as he's really in probably more in love with his best friend Derek. So, and now he had to still keep his sexuality a secret. So it was just, it was an upsetting, ending to young Cal's backstory, but it gives us, the audience, it tells us that how he grew up and why the way Nate's dad, the way he is, and why he treats Nate, his son, the same way, he was basically treated, as a teenager, and how, not accepting his dad was of his sexuality. He did the same thing to Nate. So it really kind of shows us how messed up he has become, Nate's dad. So I thought it was interesting that this episode we got Nate's dad's backstory. I was really kind of expecting to get Lexi's backstory on it. I really wanted to know, like, young Lexi, because we haven't got that yet. So Nate's dad's backstory was a beautiful story, backstory, so I liked it. And then we go into Rue, and yeah, we get into Rue. Let's get into Rue, this episode of Euphoria. So Rue, she thinks she has it all figured out. She can do drugs and be in a relationship and continue lying to her family about being in a relationship with Jules, and continue lying to her family and friends about relapsing and all that. However, she almost gets caught up by her sister Gia when she puts on music. She's dancing in her room and just, feeling happier than ever. Billie Eilish. That's me, that happier than ever. Billie Eilish. Anyway, so she's happy. She thinks she's, can get away with it, can keep the secret. However, Gia almost catches her in the kitchen as she's, making breakfast, and I'm assuming breakfast at least. And Gia catches her, and this is when she was drinking a glass of milk, and she was like, "Are you on drugs?" And she was like, "I mean," I love that. I mean, and then it goes to her. We get inside Rue's head, and she talks about how to get away, not with murder, but how to get away with covering up that you're on drugs. And we get the iconic moment from last season, with Jules, and how they did the dick pic with her, doing a lesson, pretending to be a teacher and putting on the smart board and having that teaching stick and everything. And it was with Jules last season, and now this season we have Rue and Elliot giving us a lesson on how to cover up that you're on drugs, and basically gives the audience a whole rundown. And she talks about how to say that you're going to try another drug, and she brings up to her sister Gia that she wants to smoke pot and do weed. And this gets into a whole lot of, intense drama, and Gia's like, "You're so selfish. You don't think about other people, how your actions are going to affect other people." And she gets so upset and angry, and they get into a yelling match, and it's just intense. And so she continues running down, because that's her cover drug, that she's saying that she's smoking weed or getting high. And so that's her cover drug, and she just continues, running down how to cover up being on drugs, with Elliot doing, flipping the slideshow. I love how we got that iconic moment back for this season, because I love that. Zendaya teach us. She can teach us. So yeah, and we have Rue trying to, still cover up that she relapsed. And so Rue, Jules, and Elliot. Let's talk about Rue, Jules, and Elliot. I don't like what's going on. Because to, make things not less weird between Rue and Jules and Elliot, she has Jules meet Elliot and talk to him. But mostly it's for Jules just interrogates him and just asks him, like, what's your sexuality? And, like, are you gay, straight, bi? Like, have you, have you banged any men? How many women have you banged and all that? And he then asks Jules, like, kind of the same questions. And it's like, how many men have you banged and all that? And have you and Rue have sex yet? And then Rue says, like, she doesn't want to answer how many men she has banged or has sex with, because she's a slut. Well, she didn't say slut, she said, the W word version of it. And she was like, I was gonna say slut, but then, that word came out instead. And because they all looked at her, it's like, dang Rue. So, yeah, but I felt a little bit more flirtation, going on between Jules when she was asking Elliot these questions. I felt bad for him. It's like, it must be like so awkward asking all these, questions about your sexuality, and it's like you barely know the guy, you have to know all these questions. It's it's intense. It just did feel there was definitely some flirtation on, and I just don't like, coming between Rue and Jules, and the fact that it's gonna be Elliot. Like, I get it, he's not a bad looking guy. It's like, I get it. So, I feel like she was doing a little bit of flirtation. Oh, and one of the questions too was like, do you want to sleep with Rue? And it's like, not now. But I think we see at the end of the episode that there might be something that's going to happen with Jules and Elliot. At first it was like maybe Rue and Elliot, but now I'm thinking it's going to be something's going to happen between Jules and Elliot. Because after this episode, they kind of, I feel like they are building like a relationship, and I just feel it's going to lead to her cheating on Rue. And Rue at this episode is so not thinking clearly, to the fact that she's now thinking about how to get drugs for free. Oh yeah, why not go to the drug dealer that we met in season 2, episode 1, and do like a business opportunity. She puts on like her mom's business suit on and goes back to that woman and tries to do a business deal. And she does. However, I don't think she's not thinking clearly. She's high, and all she's thinking about, oh, I want drugs, more drugs, and I don't want to pay for it. Why not just say that I'm gonna sell drugs, but not really, and she's gonna use it all and not have enough money to pay for it? And the woman said she would kidnap you and possibly kill you if she doesn't get her money back. And so I'm worried about her, angry that she made this stupid decision, because it's like, you're high, you're on drugs, you're an addict, and you're gonna say you're gonna sell drugs when you all. And I saw a theory, someone mentioned, I saw online, that it's gonna be Fez that's gonna have to pay all this money back to this woman for taking all those drugs. And Fez could possibly die, and that's where he could possibly die, because she might end up killing Fez if she doesn't get her money through it. And I just feel this is her way, going on a dark path, and she's gonna lose. It's already showing that she's gonna lose. She could lose Jules to Elliot, and then not only that, she could lose her sister and her mom because they could just stop caring because she just doesn't stop to get help. She needs help. And then how rude she was to Ali after the meeting. It's like, he's trying to help you. He's trying to get you better because drugs is not the way. It's like, she's just not hearing anything except all she wants is to keep doing drugs. She's an addict and she just doesn't see it, which is just so sad because she's losing people. And Ali is like giving up on her at the end of this episode. It's like, who else can she, if Ali's giving up on you, and then right now, right now she does still have Jules. She does still have Fez and her mom and her sister, but once they find out that she's relapsed and been keeping a secret and lying that she's on drugs, they're gonna like all give up on her and she won't have anyone else. She won't have anyone else in her corner. And I don't want that for her. I want her to have a happy life, but in reality though, addicts they go on a dark path. And sometimes they don't see clearly, they're just addicts. They don't see anything else, that drugs is the only way. And unfortunately, that's how addicts OD. They're alone. Everyone has given up on them. They have no one else in their corner. And that's how they OD and die. And it's really a sad ending to their life. But, that's reality. And I don't want that to be Rue's reality. The creators of Euphoria, don't let this be a dark reality where we see she's like a common case of a drug addict and they kill her off, and I don't want that. And then the show main character is going to be someone else. I don't want that. Or there's another theory that maybe Elliot could be the one who OD and off of these drugs that Rue bought off of this woman. Rue got off this woman and he ODs off of all those drugs, and Rue's gonna lose it and feel so awful about it. And I still do think that Fitz gonna have to pay off that woman. So basically, that's Rue in this episode. She's trying to, keep the secret and cover up that she's on drugs. And she's going on a dark path, as we'll see at the end of the episode. All she wants is drugs, continue to get high, to have that amazing feeling. But I just know she's gonna lose people. Okay, continuing to the next characters of Euphoria. Okay, let's go on to Cassie. Cassie in this episode was, getting up at 4 a.m. and, getting ready, looking pretty for Nate. She was doing her beauty routine extra. She was doing extra to impress Nate, even though Nate didn't even notice at all. Of course, he's probably trying to keep it on the down low so Maddie doesn't notice there's anything going on between them. So, but she's getting up at 4 a.m. doing an extreme beauty routine and putting on her makeup and taking an extra, cleanse of her body to make sure that she looks sparkly and hot. However, to be honest, I saw a comment too saying that she was doing her beauty routine to look just like Maddie to impress Neen, which, I wasn't wrong. However, the crazy thing that when she showed up to school looking like she was auditioning for her sister's play, Oklahoma, in that bathroom scene, have to talk about that bathroom scene when the audience and I thought she really said that she has been sleeping with Nate, and when Maddie and Kat and Lexi and Rue were all in the bathroom, and we all thought she actually said that she was sleeping with Nate and that Nate was no good for Maddie, and she's been keeping a secret and everything, that she exploded the whole secret, and I thought she's gonna get a smack down. Maddie's gonna flip and she was gonna beat her to like next Sunday. Like honestly, when she like that explosion, I thought that actually happened. Then Rue narrates that she never said that. She just kept quiet. I was like, dang, only if she did. Oh, we would have. I was thinking like we're gonna have Cassie's funeral next episode. Like the episode just could end there. Like I never been happier. If you don't know, that's the scene I was talking about. I've never been happier. So Cassie was, trying to impress, and then at the end of the episode, I'm jumping to the end of the episode because basically she was just start the episode that was her trying to impress Nate. They were scheduled to meet up, Cassie and Nate, but then Cassie gets a text that he was not able to make it. And then it shows him with flowers on next to him in the car driving, and then we see him bring the flowers to Maddie. So the love triangle continues. Nate, Cassie, Maddie, Nate. This messed up love triangle. Like, I don't get what they see in this guy. Like, especially Maddie. He is toxic. He is awful. And he's the worst. Yet both of them are falling for him, and it's like, what? One, I think Nate doesn't really love either of them. He's just struggling with his sexuality, and he just wants to, follow the heteronormative of society, the same like younger Cal, because his dad and mom won't accept him. He think that's at least what he thinks, so he can't really fully be himself, and he's just, sleeping with these girls because he thinks in his delusional mind that these girls are the perfect people to be with, which is not true. Honestly, I feel like he shouldn't be with anyone because how awful he is. So that was Cassie in this episode. Now let's talk about Lexi in this episode. Lexi. She just felt like an out. We went inside her mind, and Rue narrates that, she wishes that, that she was, could direct her own life like it was a play or a TV show, which then, I'm sorry about that. Oh, that was my phone. Anyway, so then we see Lexi kind of directing her own life as if it was a TV show, like Euphoria. I have to point out, there was the fourth wall. I love the way of Euphoria breaking the fourth wall when Rue, the first time they did it in this episode with Rue, teaching us about how to cover up being on drugs. She points out, like, people want to see people, like a character like me, and talking about, or on escape reality, like watching TV. And basically kind of breaks the fourth wall. And then we have Lexi directing her life like it was a TV show, breaking the fourth wall with seeing all the like cameras and TV equipment and all that going behind the scenes, kind of. And as her sister was pretending her sister was an actor in her life. So basically, like, she was modeling her life like it was a TV show, and then that gives Lexi an idea to start writing her life as if it was not a TV show but as a play. But I loved it. I just felt that scenes we got with Lexi this episode really carried the episode. And then going behind the scenes, and then Rue pretending that she was an actor inside Lexi's life. I love it. And Lexi, I love have an idea. Why not the side character becomes the main character? Because she feels like she's a side character in her own life, Lexi. So Lexi was like, during all this, when we were in her own mind, Lexi's mind, she was like, why not the side character becomes the main character? Like, why not? So she's the main character. She makes it so she's the main character and not her sister in her own life. So, yeah, so this gives Lexi an idea to write a play for school. And she calls it Oklahoma, so her sister doesn't find out, because her sister, of course, is a character in her plays, and she doesn't want her sister to read it, because let's just say her sister doesn't look good in this, on what Lexi wrote about her. So, she calls it Oklahoma. And then, of course, Cassie comes into school and goes on. That's when we get the scene in the girls' bathroom a little bit before then. And before that, Cassie's explosion, that I've never been happier moment. We get Lexi talking to Rue about her show, and that we see Rue's asking Cassie, like, why are you dressed up like you're auditioning for Oklahoma? And then Kat and Maddie and Lexi all there, and they're like, Kat is like, yeah, why do you look like that? And it's like, and Maddie's like, you better be joking. So it was just funny, and like Lexi was like, telling Rue, like, silently, like, don't say anything about my play to my sister, to Cassie. So yeah, and we also, in that moment, like, Rue almost blew her secret about relapsing by saying, oh yeah, they were like, oh wait, you relapse? It's like, oh wait, no, I didn't mean that. So Rue had to cover up again. And that she was, oh, I've just been smoking pot. So yeah. So I love Lexi this season so far, like taking charge of her own life, and I love the confidence that we're getting from her character. It's like, yes, finally we're getting more Lexi time, and it's well deserved. Yeah. Wow, so much happened in this episode, so let's get into Fez and Cal. So Cal ends up paying Fez a visit, and actually he spies on them, tries to spy on Fez far away, but then Ashtray comes up to him with a shotgun, and it's like, get out of your car. It's like, why are you spying on us? So Ashtray, he brings Cal inside, and it's like, what are you doing? So Cal tells Fez, basically he tells him everything that Nate has told his dad, and what made Cal want to go and spy on Fez. And they have him tied up. It's like, what are you doing? And he tells them that he knows that Rue has told Fez about he thinks Fez knows about how his dad slept with Jules, and they were like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Fez is like, what? It's like, I have no idea that you slept with Jules. And he's acting like this is the first time he's hearing this, because it is the first time Fez is hearing about this, because the only reason he was mad at Nate is because he turned him into the cops. He raided his house for drugs by the cops, and also he knew he was messing with Rue and Jules, but not that Cal slept with Jules or any. And he also mentions, he tells him about he wants the disc with the video of him and Jules' sex tape, which he has no idea what he's talking about. It's and he was Fez is you're so stupid. It's you recorded it, and it's and Cal was yeah, not the smartest decision, of course. You're so stupid. Should have done it in the first place. And so he's I just want the disc back and I'll be out of your way. And so all this, Ashtray just banging him up, and he's bleeding from his head from Ashtray. I need to ride or die like Ashtray, because he's like protecting Fez, like no matter what or matter who, he's gonna protect his brother. Respect. So yeah, Fez is like, what WTF is wrong with your family? And it's like, he's right. It's like, his dad is messed up. He's so stupid. He shouldn't have recorded it, and Fez has no idea. You really believe what your son told you, and he's also believed that Nate is in love with Jules, because of what he told him, the information that he told his dad. So what makes his dad now believe that he's in love with Jules. However, that's not true. So he doesn't know the whole truth, obviously, his father, and it's just, words are being thrown around and like getting mixed around, and the truth is just, all over the place with everything that's going on. So Fez ends up letting him go, but he makes some promise that he makes his son stay away from Rue and Jules, like basically forever, or he'll kill him, basically. So that went down, which was crazy. So yeah. It's already talked about the end of the episode already. So now, because the end of the episode was Nate driving to meet Cassie. However, he ends up canceling that and bringing flowers to Maddie. So next week's episode, my predictions for next week's episode, I'm gonna get into that. Okay, my predictions for next week's episode, Euphoria. I don't know, anything could happen in this show, honestly. There's so much that could happen. Maybe we'll get Ollie's backstory. Did we get his backstory in season 1? I don't think we got Ollie's. Not mentor, her sober coach, or I forget what they're called. But yeah, I think we might get his backstory. We see Rue continuing to fall deeper and deeper into her addiction with drugs, especially now that she has suitcase full of, free drugs. To her, at least. She stupidly made that deal because it's not free. She's gonna have to pay her back. And my predictions, I think I said this before, is I think Fez is gonna have to end up being the one making that money and paying that woman back for the drugs that Rue took. And I think maybe possibly Elliot could OD on those drugs too, and which would make Rue feel bad. Also, I think because of what she did, this show does a best example of showing how the actions that you do have consequences, and real life consequences. And I feel that what she did will have major consequences. And I remember in the trailer we got for season 2, she's being chased by police cars. So maybe she does get caught, doing a drug deal or something, trying to make the money back, and she ends up being chased by cops. And then I think we saw a car crash from the season 2 trailer. So I'm thinking maybe could her mom and her sister get into a car crash trying to find Rue, and maybe she goes missing. I don't know. Anything could happen in the show. I just think next episode we'll see her fall deeper and deeper into her drug addiction and start to lose people. She'll start to lose Jules, then she'll eventually start to lose her sister Gia, and her mom, they kick her out after finding out that she's lied and relapsed. And also now has like a suitcase of drugs and kind of made a deal with this woman, and I think eventually she might end up losing Fuzz and she'll just come completely alone. And I just have to say too, I love the visuals that we got when we saw her like, take that drug and hear that like and then we see her like fall back. I love how it was like a spotlight, and then when she fell back, she was falling back into the darkness, because I feel like that's a good symbol of like foreshadowing what's going to happen. She's like taking that drug, falling back into the darkness of drugs and to the dark path, basically. So anything could happen. I also do think that there's something that happened between Jules and Elliot. In the preview for this next week's episode, we see that Jules and Elliot, they continue, and Rue play Truth or Dare. I forgot to say that in this episode they played Truth or Dare, and I love one of the dares was for Jules to pee in the middle of the street. I was like, okay, is she gonna actually do that? Can't believe she actually did it. I was like, that's crazy. I can't believe she actually did that dare. And so, yeah. A lot of crazy things happen in the show. So, I do think also in this season we're gonna definitely get Derek is gonna make an appearance. Not young Derek, older Derek, of course, because the fact that they mentioned him, there's no way that they're not gonna have older Derek come up. And I also seen online that no way the Neat's mom doesn't know what's going on and all the affairs that the Neat dad has had with people in town. I feel like she does know, so I feel like we're gonna see that revelation, and probably Neat's mom confronting Neat's dad about everything, because she probably does know. Like, no way she doesn't know. Because I feel like this guy is really stupid. She probably have seen all the tapes, and I'm kind of wondering, something big is definitely going to happen with those tapes, and I feel like it's going to be because of Maddie. Like, I think when Maddie finds out about Cassie and Nate, she's going to reveal the tapes. She's going to get so pissed off that she'll like show the tapes or reveal the tapes to like the police maybe, and then just showing that he doesn't really care or whatever. She's gonna like get so pissed off and not even think and just reveal the tapes or like put it online or something. I could see that, and then not even caring about, because I think the tape that she saw is a tape of Nate's dad with Jules. So I think it is Nate's Cal and Jules tape. So it's their sex tape. So I do think that's the tape that Maddie saw from last season. So that's my prediction for next week's Euphoria. See you next week.